Hello friends, it is Rachel here, and today I'm doing a video for Scrapbook Nerd, and I am doing a layout based off a sketch, which you see here, or you just saw there. And this is the photo that I am scrapping today. And yes, like I said, I am following a sketch. However, I don't have multiple photos for this layout, but once I saw the sketch and the papers I had, I don't know, it just kind of came together, and I just really liked where this was going, even though it wasn't totally based off of what this sketch was, but it's because of the sketch that I came up with the idea, if that makes sense. So I had this scrap piece of pink paper, and it kind of fit perfectly. I had to trim it a little bit, but it fit perfectly to have my picture on it, and I really liked the direction that was going in. But I didn't want to glue anything yet, just in case. So I am working on the layers behind the photo first, and I have some beautiful papers in my from my order from Scrapbook Nerd, and I have a lot of the crepe paper all heart papers, which I absolutely adore. It's one of my all-time favorite collections. And then I have the chipboard from that collection, and some heritage pieces as well. So a lot of fun products to work with. If you're still hanging on to those older, quote unquote, older collections, make sure you go check out the shop because there are still some pieces there. I know we fall in love with collections, and then eventually it goes out of stock eventually because new collections come out. But if you're looking for some of these pieces, they're still in the shop, or at least they were when I last checked. Now, I don't have a sewing machine, so I am just making little marks with a black pen to make it look like I sewed on it. It was just kind of my best option. And yeah, I don't usually use a pattern paper background, and I don't usually do 12 by 12 actually, but it just kind of worked out this way. I love the dark background. It's definitely not something I would gravitate towards. Normally, I would choose something that is more subtle, maybe like a white or off-white with a very subtle pattern, or something that kind of reads as a neutral. And this kind of reads as a neutral, but I don't usually go this dark for a background. But I saw my scraps just kind of all laying on my desk, and that pink one was laying on top of the blue, and I was just like, that looks perfect. That's exactly what I want to do, and so that's what I'm doing. They just look really cool together, I think, and it really helps it stand out. I took a doily from my stash, and then I am cutting apart some of the cut aparts to see if some of those will work well. And then this is just an edge distressing tool. You can also just use your scissors, really, really simple, but it definitely gives the different layers texture and helps the different layers stand out a little bit more. I wasn't 100% sure on these yet. Usually I kind of just go for it and glue the layers, but I wanted to make sure it was perfect, or as perfect as it was going to get, but I'm starting to slowly glue everything together and put it on the page. And of course, I'm using lots of dimension with some fun foam. And yeah, so this is a fun week. I get to use the sketch, and you're more than welcome to use a sketch yourself for some projects. I am the type of person who needs those jumping off points for scrapbook layouts. So whether it's a scrap lift or a theme or a sketch or recipe, anything like that, I'm the type who needs a challenge or something to help get me started. I know not everyone loves that, but I need that kind of head start to begin my layouts. And not all the time, but it does really help me personally. So I love these types of challenges. I really would not have thought of this idea otherwise, I don't think. I don't think I would have gone for these shapes and the layout of it all. I don't think I would have. I'm ripping it off the paper just because I didn't love the exact position it was in, so I just fixed that. But it was all fine because you can't see the spot now where I ripped it up. This chipboard was really a lifesaver for this because there's so many great pieces and florals and lovely things. So you'll see me switching around a lot, but eventually I do find the position I like everything in, and I think it looks really, really cute. Like I said, I don't have a sewing machine, but I definitely would have used a sewing machine for a lot of parts of this project if I did have one. The title for this is just going to be Hey Girl. That is like the chipboard that I have there. That's kind of just what I settled with. And this picture is just a picture of myself from last year. I am just finishing up, well, I'm not finishing up last year, but I'm finishing up the photos that I have printed out already. I still have to print out some more, but yeah, so this photo is a picture of myself from last year. I don't know what I was doing, but it's good to scrapbook pictures of yourself too, because of you might look different. And also something funny I've noticed is that my editing style has changed a lot throughout the years. So I remember like when Instagram was first a thing, and it was square photos, and it was very like you would do it like very vintagey and stuff. And it's still vintage that people edit their photos now, but in a different way, I guess. But it's just so funny how the editing style changes, and I love that. I think that's so interesting, how those like different fads come in and out. The next thing I am doing here is I really felt it needed something more, but I didn't know what. So what I decided to do was cut and then rip some parts of the pages on the top and the bottom and make a little peekaboo paper peeking out. And it's just a little bit, I cut it and then distress it to make it look, I don't know, more accidental. I don't really know. But obviously this was all purposeful. So I like to have a little bit of that pattern paper shine through, and then it brings out more of that bright pink color that's in the center of the page, brings it from the top left to the bottom right, and your eye goes from the top to the bottom. And yeah. So I'm going to make 2 little embellishment clusters, one at the top and one at the bottom. Afterwards, when I turned off the camera and I had some time to look at it, I just felt there was something missing. And I do change a couple of the little sprinkly bits at the top and the bottom, but you will see those in the photos. So I'll show you at the end a video up close of it, but then once you see the completed photos, you will see the little changes I made, I hope. And it's such a minor change. It was just the enamel dots that I changed. They are, as you can see, some like black and white hearts and stars, but then I changed that to some enamel dots so that I could bring some of the colors throughout and it wasn't just black and white at the top and bottom. But yeah, I love fun clusters and I love little sprinkly bits and all that stuff. I think it really completes a layout or any project. I really love phrase stickers and stuff like that, so I included some of those. Yeah, but I feel like these are kind of the final touches. I'm also going to add some like mist sprays. So I couldn't really find the ones I was looking for in my stash, but I did find a black one and I use that a little bit in a second, you'll see here. And then I do add some white watercolor as well, which I think the white was a better choice because it stood out more, and there's a fair amount of white on the page. In general, there's not a lot of white, but in the photo there's white, so I wanted to bring out more of that white color, and the white stands out really nicely against the dark paper. So that's why I went with that color. I would have liked it if I had better sprays, but this will do for now. I guess those are just some things I have to look for in the shop. So I'm going to close that up and show you a little bit of a close-up and then some still photos. I hope you enjoyed this video. I love that cute little peace sign. I just love those little hands and stuff. But this is the finished layout, and I hope this inspires you. You can see there I changed the enamel dots. Very minor change. But yeah, this is it. And thank you so much for watching, and I hope you all have a wonderful day. Bye.